Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Justina and I'm a coordinator at the Political Science Department at CEU in Vienna. Today we will talk about super important topic, external scholarship opportunities. So if you are in need of financial aid and if you are asking yourself questions like, where do I find some scholarship? How do I do this? Is it too late to do this? Stay with us today. I have with me a special guest, Bernadett Balint from Financial Aid Office. Hello, Betty.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Betty, if you can just say a few words about yourself at the beginning.
So as you said earlier, my name is Bernadett Balint. I'm an external scholarship coordinator here at CEU at the Budapest office. And basically my job is to explore all external funding opportunities for students, whether it's enrolled or prospective students. And I'm exploring non-CEU related sources. So any source that is local or global. So I'm exploring all around the world.
So you are just the perfect right person to talk about this topic.
Exactly.
Okay, great. So let's just start maybe with a question. When should I start to look for scholarships for external fundings? We are recording this conversation on January 28th, and there are only like 4 days left till the deadline of applications to MA and PhD at CEU. And for sure, many people, many applicants are wondering if it's the right time to start to look for some scholarship. Is it? Or it's too late, maybe?
It's not too late, but well, I would like to say the sooner they start, the better, because by the time they get the acceptance letters from CEU, it might be too late, or it probably will be too late. So I would like to say that when students start looking for university programs to apply to, they should start looking for or thinking about funding sources as well, or think through, okay, I applied to this university, but how am I going to fund it? So, well, if I have to say something, at least a year before the academic year starts, or they plan to start their studies, it is not too late. But if someone hasn't figured out how to fund their studies from September, they definitely have to start now. Mm-hmm. So as soon as possible, because in the summer there are not so many opportunities anymore. So it's a little bit low season when it comes to applications. So regarding the external scholarships.
Okay. And are there some, I don't know, standard usual deadlines? So, for example, usually it's better to start in autumn, and by the end of the year, there are lots of opportunities and you can apply that. Or
I would like to say that when the application start opening, let's say at CEU in around September or October, they should start looking. So actually, really the sooner the better, because there are plenty of opportunities, but the deadlines are really different from all over the year. It can be in some deadlines are in January, but others in December. So you don't want to miss a great opportunity because you start too late.
Right. It's also maybe important to note here that we are talking about really like global opportunities, because also our students are coming from everywhere around the world. So we are not focusing on only Europe or Austria or Hungary. And okay, so let's say that I'm in my last year of bachelor studies and I want to apply for MA. We know already that the sooner I start to look for some opportunities, it's better. But where do I search for it?
Well, the best way to start is our website under the external scholarship subpage. where we provide guidance how to begin, where to look, how to look, what to look for. We also have recommended search engines such as QS Scholarship Search or scholarships of Ed, Grants Ed. So you can find these search engines on our website. And you may want to use a geographical approach, but you can also try different keywords. And we also have suggestions on our website, opportunities by regions, also global opportunities. So definitely start, or you can get inspiration from our website. So,
Okay.
this is the best way.
We will upload all the links necessary here below the video, so everyone will be able to check it out. And is it better to start to look for some local opportunities? So if I'm, for example, from Kazakhstan, or is it better to search for some opportunities available for my nationalities in my country, or should I start first from global scholarships?
I would say the best way if you start locally via a governmental website like Ministry of Education or any other relevant ministries that could possibly provide opportunities for studying abroad. Or any other private foundation or even companies like multinational companies who may have scholarships for studying abroad. So definitely locally, that's the best way. And if you cannot find anything in your own region, then you can extend globally, because there are plenty of organizations who support all internationals regardless of their place of study. So first locally and then globally.
Great. And okay, I have a little bit like feeling that it can be overwhelming. Looking for some financial aid and checking everything. Can you maybe tell us if there are some general kinds of opportunities of scholarships? So it's best to check, like as you mentioned before, Ministry of Education, some kind of organization. How to approach this?
So first and most important is to know your own needs and your own budget. So you really have to know yourself first when you start, your own situation, your own background, your staff to begin. And therefore, we also suggest to make a budget calculation in this matter, so you know what to prepare for, what to prepare. And we have, or there are opportunities like fully or partially funded. Here I would like to mention that most of the opportunities I have personally found were supplementary scholarships, but they are also really great opportunities because the amount of scholarships varies from a few $100s to thousands. So there are all kinds of funds out there. Also, there are student or subject specific, or there are opportunities for undergraduates, graduates, postgraduate, even researchers. So there's really no end to this. Also, there are specific scholarships that is targeted to a certain community or a certain group of people with a special criteria they may fulfill. So this is the most important when you start, is to know your own situation, your own background, what you're looking for.
So kind of to be also systematic. Maybe the best is to create really like a plan, map. Some people like to put everything on paper, for example, to have really like visualizes. What do I need to start there, right? Who am I? Also to understand this well, and then start to look for it. And can you give us some example of scholarships that you find, for example, interesting? Or
of course, actually, I have 3 examples in mind right now. One of it is called WorldWideStudies by Viktor Pinchuk Foundation. This scholarship is for Ukrainian citizens who wish to study public law, public administration, environment and ecology, among many other fields they support. They support undergraduates and graduates. For these scholarships, candidates have to have a clear vision on how to use their knowledge when they return to Ukraine. So it is for them, it's a requirement to come back, I think after 5 years, but I cannot recall it precisely. Another is AIWA Scholarship. AIWA is short for Armenian International Women's Association. They are supporting females with Armenian descent, and so you need to have Armenian background in some way, ancestors and so on. They support also undergraduates and graduates as well. The award range is between $1,000 and $2,000. A few of their scholarships have restrictions, but in general, anyone can apply, and there is a general application form. They have multiple scholarships, but via this general application form, they can, you can apply, and you may eligible. And last but not least, there is Barakat Trust. They provide scholarships and also they provide actually grants for different projects. These are for Muslim students who studying any Islamic related fields like art history, conservation, architecture, heritage management, museum studies, and so on. Actually, throughout February, they have ongoing webinars. So I participated on one of their webinars, and they are really open to any questions, and I really had a good experience. So I recommend to check it out. And also, for example, their application deadline is in the end of March 2022. So they have an upcoming deadline.
Great. And as I represent political science department, I have to ask, are there any scholarships for this field?
Actually, there are many scholarships where there is no restriction regarding the fields of study. We have represented them on our website. You can check our global opportunity flyer, or you can check by region, because only few of the opportunities have restrictions when it comes to the subject. Most of them are for political science or anywhere you study. So you can apply if you study philosophy, you can apply if you study political science, and so on. So most of the opportunities has not any specification for the subject.
And question. So I will apply for few scholarships because I'm not sure if I get some or not. I suppose that's a good strategy, right? To
yes,
have some
exactly.
backup plan. Can I use few scholarships? Can I be granted few scholarships? Do you know, or is it usually like
you can combine, but you have to read through the requirements, the rules, and the FAQ to do so. So usually, what I experienced so far is if you apply for a fully granted scholarship, there could be and there might be a requirement not to combine the scholarship with others. But in general, for supplementary grants, I haven't found such. So usually you can combine and apply for multiple opportunities. And for example, there are many essay competitions where you are awarded like a couple of $100, and many students make a mistake not applying, or because it's not much money. But you can apply to, let's say, an essay competition, write an essay with, 500 words. It depends on the competition, and win the award by applying for another scholarship. You can hand in another scholarship application for another supplementary scholarship. So there are no restrictions regarding how much application you hand in at most of the cases. So only if it's fully granted or it's specifically mentioned. But I haven't found too many of these restrictions yet. So
I see. I will maybe also add here that in Vienna, if our audience wants to study in Vienna, how much money they need to actually live here. It's around 900 euros per month. So accommodation costs around 400 euros plus some additional expenses. So couple of $100 or euros are not so bad, in fact, and can be very handy. That's true. And can you tell us if there are some standard usual criteria for applicants? Something that is very often required.
Well, first and most importantly is to be admitted or be enrolled at university. Usually they ask for recommendation letters, CV, cover letters, or academic transcript if in some cases if it's relevant, or citizenship again if it's relevant. Like for Victor Pinchuk Foundation, you may have to prove that you're a Ukrainian citizen, and in some cases you need to prove that you fulfill a certain special criteria. Like, for example, you have to hand in some documents regarding your financial background. They may ask for it if it's a need-based scholarship, or some medical documents if it's medical based, or if you have to prove a disability or so on. Or for example, there are scholarships for after a car accident or something, and you have to prove that accident. So in these cases you might have to hand in some papers, some documents, and also a general brief introduction is usually required. So just like when someone applies to CEU, they have to convince the committee that they are the best candidate ever. So
Right.
These are really general.
Right. And here another question. I often meet people who think that they are not eligible for any scholarships because they think, for example, that you must be in really financial need to receive scholarship. Is it true?
Not necessarily, because the eligible criteria varies from scholarship to scholarship. There are several categories to go by. It's not only need or merit based. So there are many different categories.
Yeah, I hear also often that people think that they are not extraordinary, that they are not so gifted to apply for scholarship. Is it another misconception that people have about it?
Yes, definitely. It's like, for example, let's say an essay competition I mentioned before. You don't need to have great academic results. You don't need to have a need for the scholarship. Anyone can apply, regardless of their background, regardless of their achievements, and so on. So there are multiple opportunities that are open to everyone.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say to applicant who would say, like, it's very time consuming, and I think that I don't have too much chances, so I resign of it?
The application itself is not it's not time consuming. The searching process could take some time, depending on your needs and what you're looking for. But in my personal opinion, it bursts the time. So to answer, application is not itself is not a long time, but searching progress could take some investment. So yes, but it worth a try.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And is there something that I should focus on while applying?
Well, when you apply, you need to make sure that you apply in time, and also that focus on clarity and be realistic on your application. Make sure that you read the eligibility criteria thoroughly, and you also read the FAQ. Because in some cases they don't mention all of the criteria in the requirements, but they answer but they mention it in their FAQ. And also, if you find any scholarship, whether it's it's a humble amount or a bigger one, or regardless of the amount of money, you should take your chance and apply, because maybe you apply 10 and you get, let's say, 4 or something. So to mention something, an example. So the more you apply, the better your chances are to get this foundation for your studies. Another example that you should focus on are the reference letters. Make sure that your referees are specific talking about you, and they don't just give out a general recommendation letter with some meaningless sentences. So make sure that they are specifically talking about you. And as I mentioned already, you need to convince the committee that you are the right candidate, and many times you have to prove why that amount of money would help you, how it would affect you, what you can provide for that amount of money in such way that they fund your studies, and they need to know what they fund. So you need to have a clear idea on what you want.
Right. And if I apply for many scholarships, can I just prepare one application and send it out everywhere, or should I tailor it and
I think you should tailor it, because it's just like a job application. You cannot send the same application to everyone everywhere, because people will know when it's a general application. You need to tailor it. Just read a little bit after the organization, or tailor it to the requirements. So definitely make new application each time you apply. I know it takes some time, but you really should do it, because it might make a difference.
Yeah, it is at the end very important, and it can change your future. So, so you should, in fact, invest some time and effort in this. Are there any other kind of like don'ts in this matter that I really, you would say, like, dear applicant, don't do this?
Yes. Well, first and most importantly, don't wait too long with searching. This is the single most important thing that I have to mention. And also, don't wait until the last minute to apply. Make sure that you have enough time to prepare your application. Make sure you have enough time to search, because it could take time to find the right scholarship, or to find enough scholarship to secure your financial foundations. Also, don't look over small scholarships just because they are not as much as you're looking for, because they also can help to ease your financial burdens. Because when you are in need, even a small amount of money could be a great help. And you make sure not to rely on registering to scholarship databases, because there are certain scholarship scams you might be fall into. Like they claim they do the job for you for a certain amount of money. So I do not recommend these. And also, don't give out too personal information in advance, like your bank account or credit card number, or social security number, because organizations are not supposed to ask you this in advance, only after you won the scholarship. So you have to be aware of the scholarship, that there are scholarship scams. It's not that common, but be mindful about these, because it could be important. And some tools that I definitely recommend, these are the same ones I mentioned before, but I would like to emphasize them, that search both locally and globally, use private sources and also governmental sources, read the requirements, read the FAQs, and invest sometimes, and keep on going, even if it seems an endless process. don't give up, because I'm sure you will find an opportunity that is tailored for your own needs. You just have to look a little bit deeper sometimes.
Great. All of that really, I think, will be helpful for applicants. And would you say that if someone is now applying to CEU and is looking for some external funding as well, it's not too late, right?
It's not too late, yeah.
They still can do this. Great. So the last thing maybe that I would like to ask you today, can our applicants turn to you with some question or someone else at CEU?
Definitely. You can find all of my contact information on our website. Hopefully it will be shown under this video.
Cool.
Feel free to ask me any questions. I'm here to help and help you find your sources, or anything you need.
Great. Is there anything else you would like to share with us today?
Perhaps a little bit more about the scams, because it seems important that, as I mentioned, be careful not to pay any fee in advance, or be careful with the organization who promises to do job for you, or you have to pay a certain fee to apply, or to get a loan, or when they ask a fee in advance, be mindful. There are certain organizations who ask memberships or provide scholarships only for members. It could be that in terms of bigger organizations, it could be real, and probably they are not a scam. Like, as far as I know, I think Rotary foundations are also requiring for you to be a member, so they can provide you, you can apply to their scholarships. But just make a background check before you apply, or if you have any doubts or it seems like a scam, just do your research before you apply. And another thing that it could be that they are promising free seminars where you ask questions, and only to find out that this is a well disguised sales pitch. I haven't found any yet, but it could happen. And where they ask you to register and pay. So be careful with this. So perhaps these are the most important ones, along with the personal information, not to provide it in advance, like your credit card or bank account informations, only after you won the scholarship. So make sure that it's safe to apply. Do your background research, or make sure that you read after that certain organization. If you have any remote doubt, it's better to safe than sorry.
Yeah, thanks for this. It's really very important, and I think it's just if someone feels that there is something fishy about the scholarship, it's better to at least double check and do proper, as you said, proper research.
Exactly.
And to be sure that you won't be scammed there. Okay, great. So in a summary, our applicants should think carefully what they are looking for, who they are, to make some plan, to take time and do proper research, to be careful during this searches, right? To invest also their effort and time in polishing their applications and thinking like why someone should give money to them. It's
exactly.
not an easy thing, but to also finish kind of optimistically, there are lots of opportunities, right?
Yes, there are thousands of opportunities out there, so I'm also constantly researching and finding more and more. So, and I'm looking it over a year. So there are always new scholarships. So there are opportunities for everyone, regardless of their place of study, their gender, their nationality. It doesn't matter who you are. there are opportunities for you. I'm sure you just have to find the right one, and in the right time. So or even if the application is not active, it will be active at some point. So don't give up.
Great. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you.
It was really, I think, helpful for everyone. And to all the applicants, click on the link below the video, go to our website, read carefully all the information. You have there also upcoming scholarship deadlines. So do your job, and hopefully we will see you next year here at
Exactly.
CEU. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.